Hello and welcome to another episode. When we left off, we were at war with the Righteous League and putting down yet another rebellion in the Dark-Puchin star hierarchy. I also came to the realization that I really have no reason left to worry about doing the Liberate chain. And so what I'll be doing in the near future, rather than doing the Liberate chain, liberate, vassalize, integrate, is I'm going to spend my time instead just seeding planets. There's really no reason for me to go out of my way to be nice to people anymore. And that was the rebels. So we can move these forces back to there and wait for the next rebellion. And let's see what our forces are actually doing. I have a fleet in Erebos. It says they're moving. Oh, okay, yeah. Got it. So I'm gonna have them go destroy that frontier outpost next. And my transports here I'm going to take elsewhere. They're going to be following a different fleet instead. You can see the war is only at 31%, unfortunately. But we are making steady progress. It's just a matter of now doing something with the enemy at this point. Ugh. People keep getting bad traits, which is unfortunate. Let's see this. Right, that's that would be their frontier outpost getting wrecked. I'm actually kind of doing them a favor by destroying all these frontier outposts. You see, if he didn't build these frontier outposts, he'd probably have the influence to suppress the factions. But instead it wanted to build frontier outposts to gain a handful of minerals and energy. It's stupid. But OSEC. Ah, right. That's the one with the defunct enigmatic fortress. But we are moving along pretty nicely here. Let's see what we've got going on. Move the combat fleet to that system, move these blockaders to engage hostiles. They are putting up a hell of a fight, largely just because they have so many armies on the planet, but they don't really stand a chance. For our technology, we've got Side Warriors coming up fairly quickly, and we've got the armor upgrade, always good. I've mentioned it a few times in other videos, but just in case there's anyone jumping in now, the way I've actually set up my fleets is to have extraordinarily high armor on everything. And what the goal is effectively to have so much armor that even if the enemy has armor penetration weaponry like plasmas, I'll have enough armor to keep alive anyway. Yeah, see, he's blockading these planets and getting himself some war score back. But he can't stop me, he can only delay me. Yeah, see, is he getting war score for Castra? Oh, he's not. Okay. So he's not actually getting war score for bombing and blockading planets that weren't mine originally, which is good. But I am still going to run around and stomp on some of his fleets.
Situation log updated.
Alright, so these two worlds have finished terraforming, so I'm going to go ahead and settle them. It's a shame I screwed up the enigmatic fortress, but at least I still have the planets in that system, which are fairly nice planets. And this one. Again, for anyone who's just tuning in, I like to get the maximum adjacency bonus, and these research tiles don't get an adjacency bonus, so blank tiles are a higher priority to me than research tiles for where I place my... they're a higher priority for where I place my ship shelter than research tiles are. Because at least it may build something there that'll get the bonus, and any bonus is better than no bonus. Alright, so these are both blockade fleets. Move one there. Move one here. Matsonia is captured. So we're going to embark. And let's move to Asterope. There are 2 planets in that system. Our vassal has joined the war, which means we're going to have a new rebellion shortly. And it's obviously going to be in this guy's space. Nobody else is consistently screwing up as much as he is. So what we're waiting for now is for the rebellion to show up so I can get on top of that immediately. It's actually kind of a bad thing if you're in the middle of putting down a rebellion when you finish integrating a vassal. So, there we go. But let's see what we got going on here. This combat fleet does not need to be there anymore, so I'm going to send them to Sigma Draconis. I'm actually going to send these blockade fleets to start blockading. And this planet is low enough now that they should be alright with invading. 2k fleet of rebels now. But our war with the Righteous League is starting to gain momentum, I think. We've got we're up to 56% war score now, and pretty steadily growing.
Situation log updated. Situation log updated. Hostile fleet engaged. Situation log updated. Situation log updated.
And normally I don't like to send the construction ship out building while we're at war, but I think I've broken the Righteous League. I've broken them bad enough that they actually got war declared on them by the Auspicious Concord, if that puts it into perspective at all. And I finished invading one of the planets in Asterope, so we embark our transports and start them on the journey to the next world.
Situation log updated.
Which they were actually feeling good about invading already. Let's see. Nothing really going on there. You can see the blockaders are doing their job. We're up to 76%. Forgot to negotiate this. We're at minus 21. Okay. So this fleet's in position. They're still feeling good about it. Let's see. Yeah, they're mostly healed. Alright. That's fine. Get them in there.
Hostile fleet engaged. Situation log updated.
Colony ship just hauling ass to the new world. But yeah, the war is going fairly well. And this rebellion is basically screwed, of course. See how these guys are feeling. They do not think that invading is a good idea, which I'm not really surprised.
Enemy planet secured.
Alright, so now I control both of their worlds in Asterope, so I'm going to embark and move here. Oh, the armies have more health now than before they landed. That's terrifying. I'm going to wait for these two fleets to get idle, and then I'm going to send them down to occupy the last planet down here. It's a bit farther away from the front than I'd like, but the Righteous League hasn't been able to field a legitimate fleet in quite a while. And I still like occupying a single person completely out of the war in one movement. So I think I'm going to commit to that still. I'm not going to be able to occupy all of their space before the war is out, but we'll be able to grab a fair chunk of it. These guys are still not liking it. Yeah, because the blockade fleets don't bomb nearly as well as an actual fleet does, taking the planet back is going to be a long and arduous process. But, so he rebuilt his frontier outpost. Did not expect that. And because the transport fleets are actually faster than battleships, I need to give him something to do when he lands so that I don't accidentally have my transports engage the spaceport that's down there. So we'll do a couple little movements there, and that should be enough of a head start for the battleships. Make sure there's nothing I need to be aware of going on up here. Nope. But if we go down here, just to actually show how that plays out.
Research complete.
Finished side warriors, that's good. And side warriors lead to a psionic army, which seems alright, but in practice, killing the enemy is better than breaking their morale. Breaking their morale kind of leads to killing them, but killing them also leads to killing them. Negotiation is at -6, so actually I think as soon as I finish blockading that world,
Hostile fleet engaged.
I'll have it. And then there will be a lot of salvage to be had.
Situation log updated.
And that should jump as soon as this guy switches to bombing. You should see a jump in war score to 89, and they're willing to accept. So now we've created another person to be our vassal. And we're gonna send some more party people over to the rebels. Although there's not really a whole lot of reason to, but this was never about reason. This guy... Oh, right. I can't demand he be my vassal because of the rebellion. But it should be alright. The rebellion is technically a war, but they're not even real people. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start salvaging.
Construction complete.
I'm gonna actually stage all of my combat fleets there with my transports. Ground combat's going well, the rebellion won't last long. And hopefully the Thrakposian centralized worlds can be stable until I finish integrating them. Though I'm not really holding my breath. Alright. And now I can demand vassalization from that guy. And I can't see him not being every bit as unstable as the Thrakposians were. But since I had already made the decision to create a vassal, I might as well stick with it. Let's see now. I don't think I have any missing orbitals down here. Nope. Just drop him there. All of my combat fleets are at full. My blockaders I'm going to keep in the area. Keeping one transport fleet near each of the borders to put down rebellions. Actually, I'm going to move this transport fleet over to that system as well, because that's where I'm staging my anti-rebellion forces. And what I think I actually want to do is bring my combat ships up to deal with this automated dreadnought. After the disaster that was the enigmatic fortress, though, I did go and take a look at what I need to do for the automated dreadnought. And so I'm not walking into this one blind. And this is a problem that can happen sometimes. There are two planets named Herbacean. If a name list gets recycled, the names of the planets will also get recycled. And let's see, some of these people are, yeah, individualist is kind of a problem for them. See, there's no voting in the government, they don't like the collectivist regime, they don't like migration and resettlement, which are both collectivist ideals rather than individualist. This guy's a lot better. Oh yeah, these guys were primitives, I think, with the stellar culture shock. Okay, they'll settle down as soon as they realize the favor that I've done for them.
Colony established.
And let's see how we're doing on the victory condition. 73 out of 98. You can see that the pace has really picked up now that I don't have to worry about declaring war on basically everybody. I think I want to let these two fight it out. I don't think I want to take more from the Auspicious Concord just yet. I could, the truce is up, but I don't want the Righteous League to be able to take some of their stuff. And if we check, the Righteous League is still gigantic, while the Auspicious Concord is not. So, we'll continue to beat the hell out of the Righteous League and let them suffer. And the Centomero Directorate will be the next vassal I integrate. Getting some decent technology hits. The raw research outputs like physics and engineering, not overly fond of. What I really want are the partial progress on technologies. Those are thousands of research. So those are the ideal. But I will take basically anything I can get. And this is Democratic Human Planets. Sure, these little guys here. They're they don't mind me anymore. They're willing to open borders. They must have forgotten about what I did to people. Keep my science ships busy salvaging. Let's see which ones are going to actually expire next. The ones in Mihil. So we'll add that to the top of his list. And then Widbaril. I'm not even sure what that is. Alright, is it in his space? Yeah, that's down there. I forgot about that. Did not even remember going back down there. Well, that's alright. I remembered it when I needed to, and then stopped paying attention to it afterward. Yeah, it doesn't look like I'm going to get too much more in the way of technology from all the wreckage here. But that's okay. You... And now my fleet should be ready, so I'm going to slow back down. Get these combat fleets rolling. I had a scientist die. It was one of the ones operating a science ship. So I'll recruit a new one. Automated dreadnought. I'll go over that in a moment. Alright. A single massive warship has been discovered patrolling the system. No life signs can be detected, but it's emitting a very strong power signature and appears to be bristling with weapon systems. It does not respond to hails. Caution is advised. Oh, hey. I landed in combat range with it. And you can see, even though my warp cooldown is active, because I was pulled into combat immediately, I was able to begin engaging. And it is kicking the hell out of some of my stuff. Let's see, so I've lost a cruiser already. And a battleship. And another battleship. This one's doing a much better job. Alright. We've managed to disable the automated dreadnought. Despite the punishment it took from our ships, the structural integrity of the warship's massive hull remains largely intact. Our boarding parties have found the mummified remains of the dreadnought's alien crew still manning their stations. Before expiring, they activated some kind of automated patrol, which the limited shipboard AI has been locked in for the past 7.8 million years. Although it will take an incredible amount of resources, some of our engineers believe that the dreadnought can be restored and put back into service with our fleet. It would certainly make for a powerful flagship. So I can salvage it for parts and get 1,000 engineering research, which is basically nothing. 5,000 energy and 5,000 minerals, which are both basically nothing. Or I can repair the dreadnought and have it as my own. The decision seems pretty obvious. So we're going to have our construction ship, which is going to take 10,000 engineering research to finish. That's not a big deal. And our combat fleets, we're going to move down to the southern end. Oh shit. You guys stay here. But back to what we were doing. You can see the faction is dropping pretty quickly. I suspect that is due to some changes in temporary modifiers from being suddenly and graciously lifted into the stars. And I'm sending my science ship up to explore the system where the dreadnought was. I still need to convert both of those planets, but that's fine. I've got more than enough energy sitting around and not a whole lot better to do with it. And so, convert planets I shall do. This fleet lost 1 cruiser and 2 battleships, and that's it. I've already got all of those queued up, so we're good there. Now, you can see I'm still slowly hemorrhaging influence, but once I finish integrating this guy, I'll be able to destroy some of these frontier outposts, and that'll free up a lot of influence. Let's see, the science ship, go get on top of that. And they only have a year left to be a ascension or a independent people. It's going pretty well. Check my planets, because I've not been doing this particularly well this playthrough, but that's fine. That's the reason for sectors. Sectors don't forget to upgrade buildings. Or at least, in theory. Alright, so I completed the Guardian Point Defense. It was one that I was researching, and I was also getting... Oh yes, partial... jump drive. Yes. So the jump drive is quite possibly... Or the jump drive is the second best FTL in the game. There's one better, called the side jump drive, which I'm still going to keep trying to get. And, in fact, the side jump drive, as its name might imply, comes from psionics technology. He's so old, though. Fuck it. And we're going to put him in there. And so the... sorry, the side jump drive comes from psionics technology and is the same as the jump drive, except it gives you plus 50% range. And this Arctic world has been scouted, so we're going to fix it. And what about the Continental? The Continental hasn't been surveyed yet. And our construction ship, you can see, is making really good progress on repairing the dreadnought. 10,000 engineering research is quite a bit, but we are producing a ton. So he's able to just channel that in there. And how long do we have left? 4 months on the vassal? Can he be stable? Find out more in this week's episode. But I think I'm gonna go ahead and insert a break at the top of the year. That'll be after the vassal. We'll clear out some frontier outposts and start integrating the next vassal.
Debris analyzed. Special project complete.
Alright, so the Dreadnought repaired. This is a momentous day. Our skilled repair crews and engineers have finished their work on the ancient Dreadnought we disabled. The massive warship has received its full crew supplement and has been declared ready for service after conducting space trials. So I have a new ship. It is a 4K fleet by itself, and you can see the weapons that the Dreadnought was using. A lot of plasmas, some disruptors, and plenty of point defense. It is actually quite the hell of a ship. Although mine is far weaker than the original Dreadnought was. But that's okay. I'm actually going to just treat it as another blockading fleet. Alright, so I'm going to pause this because we just finished integrating. And, damn it. Alright. So the first thing we're going to do is get rid of their awful fleets. And their awful construction ship, and their awful civilian ships. And all of this is going to join the sector. I guess I didn't notice the rebellion pop up down here, which is really frustrating. Because now it's actually costing me. Alright, so I'll add that to the sector. I'm about to lose a lot of this space because I'm not keeping all of these frontier outposts. This is a terrible place for a frontier outpost. And I want to get rid of the frontier outposts I have up here as well. Alright. And send these guys to deal with the rebels. Actually, one of my transport fleets I'm gonna keep there. Alright. So because I had rebels now, the war goal is irrelevant. So they're going to just be an independent nation immediately after this. And I'll have a truce with them because I was just at war. So I'll have to wait for that before I can actually take that space. The other bad side about this guy is that he will be permanently stuck with the Warp Drive 3. I cannot refit him with the Jump Drive when I get them, so I'm not going to be able to mix him in with the rest of my fleets, which is unfortunate, because I think he would make a fine addition to an actual fleet. But bombing the rebels is going pretty well. They are not long for the world, and I missed the top of the year, so how about it? I'll get a mid-year save. That was one of the first things I mentioned, is I'm probably going to miss the top of the year saves often. And so far I've been living up to it pretty well, I think. That should be good enough. These rebels are trash.
Station under attack.
This science ship. We'll go salvage there, and then he should be assisting research, I think, in React. I'm going to slow it down to make sure I don't miss the mid-year. The rebels are defeated, but there's no war demand I can make. And we're going to start integrating this guy. Integrate subject. And there's the mid-year save. See, Okay, cool. It made him a vassal. Alright. I can live with that, I suppose. Move these guys to that system, and thank you for watching, and I hope you're enjoying. Have a good one.